It's the FooRcast. Me, Gavin Ford.
Mackie.
And Double T.
Sweet baby doublet.
It's festival season.
It is the festival season act.
That's why I got my shorts.
It's almost upon us.
It's almost the festival season. That's
Almost.
why Owen's got the shorts on. And that's why before this podcast, we've got our first gig, festival gig, 3rd of May, Land Beyond Festival.
Which is where in Brighton, is that?
It's in Brighton. It's a big lineup. We've been looking at what tunes we want to, what type of flavours we're going to get ready at. Won't we be preparing?
We've been getting busy, haven't we? In studio?
Well, it's just about to get busy at. We've been warming up.
We've been getting busy in the studio.
We're about to get busy in the studio. We're like, what we're going to do? What we're going to do? What we're going to do? What we're going to play?
Yeah.
So, but that's led us to, let's talk about festivals. That was your idea, Ak.
I mean, my first ever festival.
Okay, straight in. He's diving in.
Wow.
2-footed challenge. Go.
Was 1999.
Yeah, okay.
I would have been 1 year old.
Homeland.
That's why you went and celebrate for your first birthday. Celebrate.
Homelands.
Oh, yeah.
Which was in Winchester Bowl, which is now where
Boomtown.
Boomtown is now.
All right, okay. Mentally, I saw someone posted this today. Complete coincidence. Owen, this is a good question for you. In 1999, Homelands Festival, where Boomtown used to be, I've got 2 questions. What time do you think the festival ran from, and how much do you think it was to get in?
Oh, how much it was to get in? I reckon, what, a tuppence? I reckon it was probably £10 tickets. And what time it ran from?
£10? It's not like...
The lineup was massive. Even though it's 1999, the lineup's still massive. It's still, I think, about 12 to 15 stages. Like,
Is this a day festival, a weekend festival?
It's a day festival. It's 1 day festival, and it's still like Andy C, Chemical Brothers, like all the biggest people of that time. So it's massive. It's where Boomtown is. Like, you been to Boomtown?
No, I've not.
Okay, Boomtown is massive. Yeah. Boomtown is massive.
Well, this was just in the bowl, wasn't like...
This is in the bowl bit, so it's one part of Boomtown. So yeah, back to my original question, which please take seriously. How much do you think it was, and what time did the festival run from? It was 1 day festival. What time did it run from?
Well, yeah, going off my knowledge of festivals today, which generally are sort of midday till, I'm going to guess that it went later. I guess it went to about 2-3 a.m.
Okay, yeah, and how much?
These days for a 1 day festival, multiple stages, probably 80 to 100 quid. So maybe a bit less, maybe 60, 70 quid.
Aki, can you remember how much you paid and what time it ran from?
I think it was from like midday, but I think it finished at like 6 a.m. or something like that.
It did. It finished at 6 in the morning.
Because I remember getting home about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I think I paid probably, back then it was about £50.
£44 it was a ticket.
£44.
Yeah, and I remember like Faithless headlined and Fatboy Slim.
Yeah, it went from 1 in the afternoon till 6 in the morning the next day.
Yeah,
that's some shift.
Is that not better? Is that not better than a 2 day? Would you rather do that than a 2 day thing?
Just if there's ways that you can keep your stamina up at festivals for that amount of time, but I don't know if it's better for crowds if you split that across 2 days.
What about you? What would you say? Would you rather? Well, obviously not now.
The thing is,
but what would you rather do? Like, if back, would you rather go home and come back again, or would you just one almighty? Let's have it.
I the one almighty. Let's have it. I think
that's how Aki treats his weekends.
I feel like the festivals now, when it finishes at 12 and they camp, everyone goes back to the parties anyway, don't they? So
yeah.
Boomtown and Glastonbury keep going anyway.
Well,
but
we've been there. Boomtown. We played 3 in the morning this time, or 2 in the morning. It was still going strong.
Yeah, things like silent discos and that, because I guess it's legalities why they can't go that late and with loud music.
But so yeah, people in the comments, what would you rather have? Would you rather have one big almighty one? Do you finish at 12 and then come back the next day?
Saying that, I went the year after, and I think it was Moby and Public Enemy were the headline, and it rained the whole day, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, I never went. But that's where your first festival. I've never been to a festival not played at, because that was my thing. I thought it was going to give me the inspiration to play. Like, I'm only going to a festival if I'm playing, which was like my get up to drive me to sort myself out, which has luckily panned out. Apart from Glastonbury, I've never been to Glastonbury because I never played Glastonbury, and that's still on the bucket list. O-Dog, your first festival?
Reading Festival 2017. Just finished my A-levels. Me and a bunch of mates all went. This was kind of before I really knew what drum and bass and bassline were, but I knew that I liked it. So
you like heavy metal, don't you?
Yeah, big.
Is that why you were going there in 2017?
That was just the one that a bunch of people in my year at school had gone the year before, and they'd all these stories about it. So we decided our group would go the next year, and it was a
How old
proper
are you?
mix. Oh, 18, freshly 18. All of us were. I think Eminem was headlining, Kasabian, and Muse on the Sunday.
It's a good
So
lineup.
Very good
It
lineup
was a good
there.
lineup. I don't think they've hit the same height since, but we still go every year, just as a tradition now.
Yeah, we played Reading.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was the first time I saw Pendulum with the live band as well, and that's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Well, knocking on, what is the best artists or the best? What's the best sets you've seen at a festival that knocks on, or is it Pendulum?
Pendulum's up there. I'm thinking about those early days at Reading, because that was the first time I'd seen stages that big and like experienced like a full show at a festival rather than just going to like gigs at a music venue. And I remember seeing My New Leng, who were like fully in their sort of baseline era at that point, and that would like open my eyes to a whole new side of festival shows, like being in the big tents and hearing music that way. So that's quite memorable because that was the first big one I think I saw there that year.
Do you remember you saw in 1999 and all those your
Wow.
little fucking 3-year run of
Yeah, I
festival?
mean, Faithless was
Oh yeah,
that was an incredible moment.
yeah. I bet that was good then.
I mean, that's when they were at their prime, and obviously, like, never really get to see them. There's more festivals these days, so you get to see them more often, but they weren't.
So we've walked around festivals with 50 Cent.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Do you remember what we saw?
It's a good name to just drop in the conversation.
Yeah, we played with 50
Sean
Cent.
Paul.
Yeah, but I don't remember him being particularly brilliant. No disrespect, Sean Paul. I don't want to
He's
fight.
got a lot of good songs, hasn't he? That's the thing.
He was good, but like 50 Cent was like it was.
Yeah,
like,
iconic.
I think I saw. Do you know what? Well, obviously, we seem to talk about him on every podcast. But do you remember when we went to see when we played a festival and we saw Evil B in the drum and bass tent, and everyone was singing back his lyrics to him like he was Robbie Williams. Like I'd never seen him do a drum and bass set
crazy,
before, and it was like I was like, how do they all know the words? So literally, he was, and I called him the Robbie Williams of drum and bass. Well, I still do now. He still
That's like
is.
a big thing now, though. I think with drum and bass, people singing back.
Yeah.
lyrics to MCs. Like that becomes the whole thing. Like bass layers, their intro every time people know the words to
Yeah,
it.
I see crazy
What I've
videos.
noticed about it in festivals now, we get there, the drum and bass tent is packed from the start to finish. It's
Yeah.
like you get there, you're like, all the other ones are warming up. The drum and bass one is already in motion, and I'm like, this is crazy.
We went to Drum and Bass All Stars Festival last September, which was my favourite festival I went to last year. And it was from the moment it opened, because they just jam-packed that lineup with so many big names that people wanted to get in early. And there were so many stages, and people were anywhere you went, you'd see a name that you knew.
What's that Boomtown one as well? They open that, as soon as they open it, everyone just rushes in for
Yeah.
the drum and bass.
Oh, that's Glastonbury.
Oh, Glastonbury.
No,
That's
there is a Boomtown one as well. Is it the Origin stage or something? Because there's a video of Shy FX opening it, and you see everyone running down the hill.
That's all both Glastonbury.
Oh, is it?
We're
Yeah,
both
I
talking
think
about
they're Glastonbury. Actually,
yeah.
you got it right.
Yeah.
But that stage at Boomtown is one of the biggest stages of, well, the one up, and it's just a sea of people, isn't it? What stage is that again?
It is
Origins.
stage.
Crazy. Absolutely
But yeah,
crazy.
so yeah, that was some of the best. But one time, talking about best sets, one time we played in between Professor Green and the Chuckle Brothers. So 2 sets there. I
We
couldn't,
played some.
I couldn't tell you who was better at the two of them because they were both good. And Paul from the Chuckle Brothers afterwards, Paul, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Come over and said, You're the best set I've seen since Chemical Brothers. And I was like, I'm taking that to the grave. And we were behind, when we were in the queue for the ferry behind Professor Green. Good times. What's the best festival you've played?
I feel like when we played in the Big Top Isle of Wight Festival, just because all our friends were there, the
This
whole
first
day.
time.
The first time. The whole day was just brilliant, wasn't it? We had everyone there.
Yeah, that was like the best. That was one of the best days of my life. What about you, O-Dog? Best festival you ever played?
Never played a festival?
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Wow.
That's still on the bucket list. That's always been on the bucket list.
Okay, if you could play one festival this year, which festival would it be?
I have to say Reading Festival, because that's the one I've been to every year since I turned 18.
What stage did you play?
On the dance stage, obviously.
Okay. Chucking himself in the deep end, isn't it?
It'd be weird to do a drum and bass set on the heavy metal stage. So
Yeah, but we did that Jaeger stage, and
Brilliant.
yeah, they
That
are
was-
great.
that was
But
good,
if you're gonna aim for something, you might as well aim big.
I just thought you might be more realistic.
I would like to do Isle of Wight again somewhere.
I think Isle of Wight is special. I think the first festival that I ever went to, the first festival, which is also the first festival I ever played at because of my rule, was Isle of Wight Festival on a Thursday when they experiment with the dance stage, and I played with A-Track, and Example might have played. It might have been a different day. It was on a Thursday. EZ played. EZ and A-Track. That's a big lineup.
What, at the Isle of Wight?
On a Thursday. They did a Thursday dance tent. They experimented with it. They did Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday dance tent they did. Do you remember one year?
But that's one thing they don't do anymore. They don't do like a dance tent.
It was the only year they did it. And it was, I think it was a success.
Yeah, it's just
And
strange. There must be a reason why they don't want to do it.
Then they put it in with the big top.
Yeah.
They moved it in, and then so Isle of Wight, and also we did the first year we did Isle of Wight, we played on this stage that was a million miles away from the main stage.
It was literally.
We were on the same time on the Sunday as Fleetwood Mac, which even we wanted to watch Fleetwood Mac, and only two girls. We told this story a million times, but there was two girls there to see us, Abby and Lara. Shout out Abby and Lara when we went on. So it was like these two, but we brought loads of people with us.
Yeah,
because that was the stage. Because I don't know if you felt like this at the time, because I don't think we ever said it out loud. But we did a song that was a cover that got really, really big in Southampton, and that was kind of from September to January of that year. That record was massive in Southampton. So we got bookings off the back of this one record because in Southampton, this record was like, it went big outside the thing, but like the music video was in Southampton. We were all from Southampton. It was like a dance act. We almost got signed. So we got booked for Soundclash Festival in May, Isle of Wight Festival, which should be June. So we got festivals off the back of this one song. But in January, that song, the deal fell through. We spent all our money on that song and we didn't know what we were doing. So that festival season, I assumed that was going to be our little run of festivals and then that was the end because I had no clue what we were going to do next. No money. So we were turning up to every festival with about 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Like all of our pals, like, right, we're just going to enjoy this. Absolutely playing up at every single festival.
We done tea party. We were done. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was, yeah. We were just, so we were doing all these festivals off the back of this one song. No clue. I can remember some of the festivals just struggling to play an hour. Because we were based around one song. We had a couple. We made some other stuff, and we did. That's like when the bootlegs come about, and it all worked out in the end.
Well, I feel like from 2014 onwards, there was a massive festival boom, though, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Before that, there wasn't loads, and then all of a sudden, there's too many.
But going back to Isle of Wight. So there was the two girls there, and we took obviously a whole ferry load. It felt like. So then people, and then like we always had this thing where the energy always dragged people over, and then we ended up with probably 150, 200 people at that stage. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then we did another stage the next year, which was a bit bigger. And there was probably 200 people when we started, then 2,000 when we finished. And then they put us on the big top of the year. Yeah. So we worked our way up.
So, Owen, you might have to start on a small stage.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's not what you were.
That's what I was getting at. And he was all like, I'll do main stage, mate.
I think the thing is that although I've never played a festival, last year, there were a lot of people on lineups who like worked with or have, like, for example, Jackham played on the main stage on Reading, and I went to see him. He didn't have the biggest crowd, but he's still on the main stage at Reading. But seeing him up there with the logo that we made for him and stuff like that, it's never felt closer than it did. So
it's not.
What festival's gone that you miss? There must be one. Didn't we?
Yeah, but we played one which I don't think is going anymore. You were there. I think it might be called Beat Herder or something. That still goes? There's one.
I was on holiday then.
What's the one? Sorry, because you'd have been there. And we got a hotel. It's in like in Blackburn, and artwork was on the bus. Bolter. That's Beat Herder. That's still going. Oh, I missed that one. But they still go.
I think I was away. I was in America. I think.
But this year's the last year of Bolter Festival.
Really? See, some of them are
and that's got like a bit of a cult following, and never got to experience that. But that's a shame that that's come to an end.
We did EDC, the Milton Keynes version. That was good.
That was last minute.
That was one off.
Yeah.
That was when we were in our hell-raising stage.
Goldie was on after us. We
got a photo with Goldie.
It was, yeah.
Trying to think of festival that we miss.
I was going to say
Soundclash, the Southampton one. Oh.
Well, yeah, we don't really have any around here anymore.
We're doing Play in the Field festival.
Okay, yeah.
No,
a few years ago they did Docklands, and I thought you might mention that because that's when you played after Andy C.
Yeah, actually, that's his most iconic. He had a smile on his face for a good couple of days.
Yeah, that's
you put on your YouTube of that, and you can see me in the crowd.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that before you worked for us?
Yeah.
Was you thinking one day I could be up there?
But halfway
with Andy C, yeah.
halfway through the set, Aki went, "Give him a job," which he's done it. He does it every single gig,
And it finally paid off.
but that's the first time we did it. Like usually, like like how Bret the Hitman Hart takes his glasses off and gives them to a kid. Aki gives someone a job in the crowd every time.
We done Garage Nation, didn't we, in London? I think that was funny because we were running quite late, weren't we?
Again, was it? That wasn't our fault.
No, it wasn't.
We got a bus and the guy it didn't travel over a
It had a
certain.
limiter, like it's going to go like 50 miles per hour, and we were like, traffic in London as well.
So yeah, we pulled up in the bus. We
thought
all
we'd
got
take
out
our
of the
mates,
bus,
didn't we? We thought I'd
and they were like, "We're literally just seconds in it." So they put us on this cart, and there was Dave Wiggins. Shout out Dave Wiggins, who was originally in FooR. In the cart, there's no space on the cart for him. Obviously, me and Aki were DJing. Dave used to play percussion on top. So he's running behind. He's got these massive feet, and he's running. When we're doing the Jurassic Park, he's running through the lap.
It was just his massive feet chasing us, like because we obviously we had a DJ, so we had to get there first and he could set his drum up after. But the way he was running after us was just amazing.
But what also the other so we literally got on like it was the bang on to the second, right? When you play Garage Nation Festival, which I'm sure that still happens, they give you a list of songs not to play because obviously it's Garage Nation and there's so like these massive garage records, so not everyone's playing the same set. There are records you have to ignore. Yeah. So like Luck and Neat will play a little bit of Luck, and Artful Dodger will play Artful Dodger songs and things, which is a to help the longevity of the day and things and stuff, not ruin the moment. Because we got there in a second, we never got that list. First song, a little bit of Luck. Like, everyone's going mad in the crowd. You can see like people at the side that's really pissed off, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's wrong with that? This is a good record, isn't it?" Like, yeah. So yeah, but we didn't get that list. I don't know how many we played from said list.
Wasn't there there was a festival last year, wasn't there, where you were almost late to stage and someone had left their headphones or USBs or something?
Oh, it was Gav.
We were there in plenty of time.
Yeah, but you left the USB.
So what, when
in the car.
When you have have you ever had that anxiety dream as a DJ where you are looking for your USB, you can't find the tune, or you can't find the stage?
I've got one where the record keeps playing, and I can't find them.
That sort of dream, right?
Yeah.
So this is the real life version of it. So we're at Boomtown, and obviously you haven't been to Boomtown, so anyone else hasn't been to Boomtown. Boomtown's massive. So when you park your car, you've got to they put you in a bus, and the bus will take you to...
There's a bus route with drop-off.
Yeah, the bus goes all the way around the circle, and it's 45 minutes to go round the circle of the site. So we get dropped off at the stage.
We sat down on deck chairs, having a lovely time. We
sat down on deck chairs, locals there.
Having a Jägermeister, lemonade.
Jägermeister stage. We're drinking away. Our pals are there. It's Winchester, so it's local. So our friends there, having a good time. And I just had this really weird feeling, like the anxiety dream, but in real life, like I haven't got the USBs. I just thought, have I got them? I bought them, and I got this little DJ bag, and I put it in a big bag, which is weird. I don't know why I do that. And I looked in the big bag, and I hadn't put the little bag in there. And then it was like the feeling was just like the whole thing ran out of me, and I was like, oh my God. So went to the guys at the stage. I was like, this is what's happened. They're like, right, we'll get you a bus. None of the buses were stopping. And the guy's like, this is at 20 to 2.
Yeah.
And we're on at 2.
So the guy who runs the stage goes, he goes, there's not a chance in how.
He goes, the bus takes 45 minutes round. So even if you get on it, you've got to do it one way, and it's going to take 45 minutes. So we've got to go back to the car, which is, how long did they say it was to walk? 45 minutes as well. So 45 minutes on the bus to take you there, and then you get the thing and wait for another bus, which would just an hour and a half if everything goes perfect. So misses the whole set. So okay, there you go. David just said you can't hear off the camera. David, our video guy, who was there, we left. By the time I said, well, we got to run for it. Now, poor David was the only one who knew where the car was because he was there the day before. So he had to run with me, and David's only small, not that small as I've just indicated with my hand, but
little legs.
I run like the wind. I'm like a gazelle. Dave's little legs. So we've run all the way back to the car, get the USBs, and they drove us some of the way back in a cart. But once it gets to a certain point where there's too many people, you have to get out in the cart and run the rest of the way. We got there at 2:05. That's how quickly I ran.
Insane.
The guy couldn't believe the guy.
He couldn't believe it. Me and Tyrone are almost giving up. We go. We get
the stage. So Dave just said the stage manager said that he's never seen anyone. That's the quickest he's ever seen anyone get from the start to the thing.
Yeah, me and Tyrone were there going. He's never getting back.
That's how fast. That's how fast adrenaline could be. And yeah, we played
Luckily,
the set.
Smokey Bubble and B was on before us, who we know. So he said, "Look, I'll cover."
Yeah, he was all right. He was ready to go on till 2:30. The guy said, listen, you're going to have to DJ till at least 2:30 here. There's no way he's back before 2:30. And I got there at 2:05. And the first few records was a bit ropey because I was knackered.
I was surprised that you didn't just sit out the set and
I was dead.
You were catching your breath.
Yeah,
I was absolutely dead.
I had been at the festival the whole day, walking around filming. So that run took out. I've never seen Gav run like that.
Yeah, I felt sorry. I did feel sorry for David because he knew where to go, so he had to keep up with me.
So, well, after the set, we obviously walked all the way back to the car, and I was like, "How the hell did you run there and back in 15 minutes?"
That's crazy.
It took us 25 minutes just to walk there.
Yeah. So yeah, to sum up, always check your DVDs before you get out of the car, and also be fast as a gazelle like me, just in case you lose it. So,
I always say, if there's two of you, carry a set of USBs each. Same USB.
Oh, so it's your fault for not having a set of USBs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, good. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, out of order, Aki, you are. You should have run, really.
I thought you needed
Aki used to be... You second fastest in Southampton, Aki used to be.
I thought you needed the exercise, mate.
Oh, definitely. So yeah, that was one of the worst.
But it worked out in the end.
That was one of the worst festival experiences. Was that the worst festival experience you've ever had?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had a couple, and like we used to always, I was like you say, bring our friends, and sometimes it works as a plus, sometimes it doesn't. I remember one festival we played, and our friends were on the stage, a couple of girls and a few of our lads, and someone kicked the power lead out. And the whole festival went.
Oh yeah.
But where was that? That was like that's got somewhere like that, wasn't it?
It was the Portsmouth Festival, which was it called Victorious Festival? No, not Victorious.
It wasn't Victorious.
Mutiny in the Park.
Something like that. Yeah.
Rebel Sound
headlined it.
Snoop Dogg was Saturday. Rebel Sound was Sunday.
Yeah.
And Stormzy on the Sunday. It's a big lineup. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember just turned around. They just said I was like, they've kicked the power. I just went dead. It was a big top as well. It was quite a big stage.
Yeah, that was that. I forgot about that. That was a bad one. Yeah, and there was the one where we drove all the way to Cornwall in the Vauxhall Corsa, 5 of us, squeezed up, and then there was no one there.
You know, they're the experiences. It's a journey, isn't it? You know.
I mean, that was a journey. It was
a hell of a journey. It was like 5 hours, wasn't it? And there was like roadworks. So, I mean, that's what people understand. That some of the journeys that acts have to take to get to certain places is.
What was your best festival experience, Owen? Did we say your best one?
It's got to be seeing us, isn't it?
Yeah, probably that Docklands, yeah. Oh, he's already answered.
My best festival experience is probably the first time I ever heard one of my songs played out was at Inside Out Festival in Cardiff when you guys played one of my songs, and I didn't know that was going to end.
Yeah, we never got booked for that festival again after playing his song.
That was a good festival, actually.
No, that was a good festival.
A couple of times.
That was a good festival, and no, we did play that again. And Central C was at that festival. Yeah, he was in thing, and.
There's probably loads we've forgotten about.
We did Ibiza Rock. We played that festival on the Saturday and the Sunday. Saturday is FooR and Sunday is Tyrone. I didn't put on like a Tyrone outfit or anything, but we played Ibiza Rocks on the Thursday. This is COVID times. Clearly got COVID. Drove to Inside Out Festival. Then we played Nottingham, Leeds, and then come back to the festival. And I'd caught COVID so I had COVID. I didn't think it was COVID at the time. I just thought I was really, really ill. And we drove around, did all these gigs, absolutely battered. That was how. And when we got to Nottingham, checking our hotel room, there was someone in our hotel room. The guy said, "I'll come and check our hotel room," and he goes, "Oh no, there's a guy in there."
Was it a little gift?
No, we were like, we don't like, can't. Yeah, not like like a mint on your
someone
pillow.
There just laying on the bed, like, "Hi, Gavin."
No, like, but they went, but the guy was like, "Oh, you can't have your room because there's someone in there." Like,
that's not how hotels work.
Like, what? That's mental. Get him out of there. It was the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then, that was, so yeah, Inside Out, that was a good festival.
So, yeah.
Let us know your favourite festivals or your worst festival stories.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if we can come back to festivals another day. I think we've covered this. So it'd be a good one to get Tyrone back for as well.
Any promoters out there want to book.
Yeah, if you want to give Owen his first ever festival.
You'd appreciate that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got to go straight to one of the biggest stages.
It's got to be main stage.
but we cut. Well, we'll talk about this in a few weeks. As we get closer with the preparations, we'll see what we've prepared, what we're doing, how we prepare. Maybe people are interested in that. What we got ready. We'll come back.
Also,
hang on.
If anyone's got any records you think we might play at a festival, send them in.
Yeah. If you got any suggestions,
we're looking for records.
Any
to play.
requests?
We're looking for records to play, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
So there,
yeah. We're putting it together now. So let us know. Let us know what festivals you miss is a good one. I want to know what festivals you miss. I want to know if you prefer a 2-day or an all afternoon.
An Aki sesh.
Yeah, a big long sesh, and any tunes you want us to play, let us know.